عندنا غنم بعض الغنم ساقوم لنا في أطفال اثنين.
Now we move on to our next news. My colleague and correspondent Aditya Varawan has spoken to the Palestinian Foreign Affairs Minister Varsenaga Bekian as plans for Gaza reconstruction finalized. Let's take a look.
Palestinian Foreign Minister exclusively speaking to NewsX. Ma'am, thank you so much for talking to NewsX. Ma'am, my first question to you is, ma'am, what do you think, what could be, in what areas can India, play a role as far as the reconstruction of Gaza is concerned post this truce happens between Israel and Palestine? Your comments upon it, ma'am.
A lot that can India do. Israel is in need of everything you can think of, from immediate rehabilitation measures, immediate relief measures, to reconstruction. And in between, there's also a lot that can be done. We can have input in terms of the actual physical reconstruction of the buildings, the basic service institutions, or we can have issues related to providing artificial limbs to the thousands of Palestinians that have lost their limbs, the demining in Gaza, the removal of the rubble, you name it, there's a lot that can be done in Gaza.
Ma'am, if I would like to ask you, ma'am, since countries like UK, Canada, France, and Australia are on the verge of recognizing Palestine, do you think that this would, help with the Palestinian cause? And what do you think about this entire situation, ma'am?
They have already recognized. Canada, Australia have recognized, Britain has recognized. So what we want from all those that have recognized to commit to what international law says, to the rights of people to self-determination, moving us from where we are today to materializing the state on the ground.
Okay. Ma'am, if I may ask you, what are the nations which are the nations that have come forward, that have, decide that they have said that they will contribute to the reconstruction of Gaza. If you can name some, if some of the nations who are proactively saying this, that we will, rebuild Gaza. If you can name some nations regarding that, ma'am.
There are many countries in Europe that have already voiced their intention to chip in, Arab countries, countries in Asia. The most important thing is to look at the plan and see where the interest of each country lies and where their niche is. If, for example, India is good in a certain aspect, then India should chip in towards that, so that we don't have duplication and we have all countries do whatever is of interest to them and whatever most benefits Gaza.
Ma'am, my next question to you is, ma'am, how do you view the constituents of the Board of Peace, which is meant for reconstruction of Gaza, as U.S. President Donald Trump has formed it? How do you see that Board of Peace? Many countries are joining that Board of Peace, which has been formed by U.S. President Donald Trump. How do you view that, the entire scenario?
First of all, the Board of Peace has to give us what is most priority for us right now, which is the cessation of the hostilities, the cessation of the war and the attacks on Gaza, and to have a permanent ceasefire. That is number one priority right now. The Board of Peace composition is yet, it remains to be seen, because, as you said, some countries have joined, some countries are challenging the mandate of the board. And until all of this is aired out, we will have to wait and see who joins and what would be the final mandate of this board as accepted by whoever joined the board.
Ma'am, do you think that even after the entire peace process has been completed and there is a full truce between Israel and Palestine, do you think that Hamas and Hezbollah will also prefer buying peace post that, because the bone of contention has been that Israel has been saying that recently only we saw that Hamas handed over the last Israeli hostages. So do you think that the situation will prevail normally even after the full truce has been completed between Israel and Hamas?
Well, the peace agreement that was signed was approved by the entities and the stakeholders, and there are guarantors for that peace agreement. And the agreement has to move on with all of its items as stipulated in the agreement, which means compliance by all parties, Israel included. So we hope to see that everyone takes the interest of the region, their own countries, their own projects. For us as Palestinians, the Palestinian National Project as the most important to preserve and move on accordingly.
Like my next question to you is, ma'am, what is your forward strategy? Are you like as far as the UN General Assembly is concerned? There have been many instances where the Palestinian leaders have been voicing raising their voice at the UN headquarters. For the recognition. So, what is your forward forward strategy as far as making this issue of Palestine international on a global level? Already, it is a considerable issue at the global level. But what is your strategy if we talk about your plan of action at the UN General Assembly, ma'am?
Well, our plan of action entails whatever we can do to steadfast our people in Palestine, ensuring there is no displacement of Palestinians, neither from the Gaza Strip or the West Bank, because we want Palestinians to steadfast in their country, to build their country, to struggle for the independence of their country. So we will continue advocating for that. We will continue advocating on the recognition front, because there are still countries that have not recognized. And we will continue saying that whoever is for international law and says they are democratic and comply with international law and believe in the rights of people to self-determination, they should come forward and recognize the state of Palestine.
Ma'am, my next question to you is, how do you see India-Palestine ties, to move forward in the times to come? Already we know the diplomatic relations between India and Palestine have been excellent. So in the way forward, in the next few years, how do you see the diplomatic relations between India and Palestine panning out, ma'am?
I hope the positive and the productive relation that has prevailed for decades will continue. This entails India continuing to support what it has supported for long, the two states and the independence of the state of Palestine, and it will continue with its development and humanitarian assistance to the Palestinian people.
Thank you so much for talking to NewsX. So this was our Palestinian Foreign Minister exclusively in conversation with NewsX. This is Aditya Vadhavan reporting for NewsX with video journalist Avinash, Delhi.